What's up, guys? Walkabout here. Today I'm back for another video, and today was kind of an interesting day as today was the first day of official trade, and we have 4 trades to talk about. And these 4 trades, some were very interesting, some were low, but I'm just glad we're having NBA talks again that we can talk about. I'm gonna say who's gonna be the winner of each of these trades and how it benefits both teams in some way. But before we start the video, you already know it's going to be a banger, so make sure to drop a like, comment down below any new video ideas. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel at 51 right now. Goal is 100 by the end of the year, but for now, let's get started. So the first trade is probably a really lame one, but a trade's a trade. We still got to talk about it. And that trade is Bruce Brown going to the Brooklyn Nets for Desmond Musa and the 2021 second round pick. Now, in my opinion, the Pistons took an L and the Nets took a W. Because, yeah, they're getting an extra draft pick in the second round pick and a very raw prospect in Desmond Musa. But he is super inconsistent. Even though he's 21, he's still got a lot of development. You're trading away another guy with a bunch of development, Bruce Brown, who has already proven to be a really good role player, being a great 3-and-D guy, shooting, I think, like 34% from the 3. Comparisons that his defense could reach the peak of Tony Allen with a better 3-point shot, and if that's what the Nets get close to that, that would be perfect for him, especially since he doesn't demand the ball like KD and Kyrie, and if they trade for James Harden, he would just be a perfect role player to fit and provide the defense that the Nets really lack and be a really good role player. That likely means they're going to trade for a star, so Bruce Brown come off the bench, be a really good fit, guard perimeter in like clutch defensive situations and stuff like that. Pistons, I guess their first trade, but I don't get why you would trade Bruce Brown for a really inconsistent guy in just a second. You could have got a little bit more than that in my opinion, but they really just want to blow everything up and gain pick assets, which I don't really hate, but I just don't like the deal. The second trade's a little bit bigger, and we got Chris Paul going to the Phoenix Suns and OKC finally calling it a rebuild. And in the pick, they will be getting Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, Ty Jerome, Jalen McHugh, and the 2022 first-round pick in exchange for Chris Paul and Abdel Nader. Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker. That's going to be a nasty trio and a playoff contender. And then you got guys like Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson still to fill out that starting 5 and great role players like Aaron Baines. You still keep backup guard Javon Carter, who is a really good defender, has shown really good signs. The Suns could be a really great team. And for the Thunder, they're going to venture like Ricky Rubio, who likely won't even stay. He'll likely get flipped for another late first, just like Danny Green will. And then you're also getting Kelly Oubre, who fills that small forward void that you were lacking. Lou Dort looked like to be that guy, but I just don't see him playing small forward, being 6'3". Like him at that shooting guard spot, backing up Shea. If Shea doesn't start at point guard, he'll be their backup shooting guard. If Shea does start at point guard, Lou Dort will be your shooting guard. Ty Jerome, Jalen McHugh, both projects that you're going to have to develop, especially McHugh, who's shown amazing athleticism. Ty Jerome's more of a high IQ guy. And that 2022 first, you just add on to the stack at first. That's, saying Press is a genius. But honestly, this trade is a win-win. I'd say low-key, I don't even know if I want to favor this too, because I just think it's a win-win on both sides, because the Thunder got good value for Chris Paul, who people thought was out of his prime. He had a great season in Thunder, and they immediately capitalized on it, so I think that was a really smart move. The third trade are the Rockets trading away Robert Covington to the Portland Trailblazers for Trevor Ariza, a 2020 first, and a 2021 protected first-round pick. The 2020 first is pick 16, so the Rockets can use it to finally draft a young guy, which the only young guys they have on their roster are literally Tris Clemens and Isaiah Hartenstein. They'll use these picks to finally have some sort of a future after getting fleets for Russell Westbrook. Maybe, I don't know who they could get at 16. Maybe they could look at Cole Anthony as the guard of the future. Maybe get a good another wing to replace Robert Covington. Maybe get a big so that they can have a big like Jalen Smith. Or maybe trade down to get extra draft pick assets to get a guy like Daniel Toru, Xavier Tillman, Vernon Carey, guys like that. Guys in that area, so they can have more draft picks in the future. And then protected first. Likely it won't fall into protection because Rocco would be such a good fit on the Blazers. A great 3-and-D wing is really what they need provides an elite defense. He was an amazing shot blocker with the Rockets, and he can do great things on the perimeter, playing next to Melo if Melo resigns, with Nurkic, and then playing with two trash defenders like Dame and CJ. He just is really what they need, and I feel like he'd be a really good fit. So in my opinion, this trade is also a win-win for both sides. Rockets look for the future, and actually have draft picks to use, and Rocco is just an amazing fit on the Blazers, and getting him for outside the lottery first and the late first would just be a perfect fit. And the final trade just came up most recently, and that is the Milwaukee Bucks getting Jrue Holiday. Now, I like the Bucks on Jrue Holiday. I personally want him on the Mavs, but that's just me being biased. But the price they gave was kind of hefty, as they gave up Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, 3 future first-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. Now, Jrue Holiday will be a really good fit. You'll probably have a lineup of Jrue Holiday, Donte DiVincenzo, Middleton, Giannis, Brook Lopez. What the problem is, your backup point guard, since you traded George Hill along with Bledsoe, is likely going to be Frank Mason now, unless you can get a signing of free agents. If you can steal a guy like Rondo, that would be really nice, but that's only if they can get a guy like Rondo. If they don't get a guy like Rondo, Frank Mason's going to actually have to get minutes, or you're going to have to roll some point guard Donte DiVincenzo in the lineup, which would be kind of weird. I really don't know how that will work. But this team could be a really good contender in the East. Hopefully can make it to the finals. I don't know if they'll win it, but I know they have a very high chance of making it to the finals now. The Pelicans, that's a great haul. George Hill, I could see staying to be in the backup point guard next to Lonzo, but Eric Bledsoe, I see getting traded for more future assets. I just don't see Eric Bledsoe playing with that team when you already have Lonzo Ball, now George Hill. You still have, almost like I say, Frank Jackson. He's still fairly young at a point guard. You still got pick 13, who you potentially could drop the guard at that position. With the amount of guards in this draft class, I just don't see Eric Bledsoe staying. But 5 first-round picks, 3 just straight-up picks, and 2 pick swaps. That could be a really nice haul for Jrue Holiday. Honestly, that haul could get you a guy like, not the players, but like with those 5 first-round picks, it could get you a superstar. The fact that it can trade you Holiday for that much assets is just a steal. And honestly, as of right now, I call this a Pelicans fleece. I will say it's a win-win if Giannis resigns and the Bucks win at least a ring with the Jrue, Middleton, Giannis trio. But if they don't win a ring and Giannis don't resign, this is a massive fleece for the Pelicans, because those picks will immediately come better. Remember, there are 3 future ones. They're not getting a late first-round picks in this draft. They're future ones. So that means when Giannis is gone, they'll likely get the picks. And those picks could be really valuable if Giannis leaves. And of course, when I finish making the video, there is another deal where Donte DiVincenzo, DJ Wilson, and Ersan Ilyasova will be going to the Milwaukee Bucks for Bogdan Bogdanovic and Justin James. I kind of like this deal for the Kings. Donte DiVincenzo is a really young role player. Ersan Ilyasova has been a really key shooter. I feel like they don't need Ersan, and DJ Wilson is just going to be a project. He's really not anything special. But I think, low-key, the Bucks really paid for Bogdan Bogdanovic. It was really just a signing trade. You really could have signed him for free agency. I feel like you could have gone for less. Like, how'd you get away from trading Donte DiVincenzo for Jrue Holiday? Well, you give him up for Bogdan Bogdanovic. I would have rather kept the depth in Donte and Ersan. I call it a dub for the Kings. But I wouldn't really call it a major dub for the Kings, because you really don't need Ersan. Donte's just going to always be an elite role player. And DJ Wilson is unlikely to be anything special. But what do you guys think about these 4 trades? Who do you think won each of these 4 trades? Comment down below any of your opinions. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace out, guys.